Hi, this is Kelsey from Essentially Booked. Thank you for stopping by today. I figured it was finally time to do the Booktube Newbie Tag. I've done 5 videos now and kind of have gotten like my feet wet a little bit, so I think, hey, now should probably be the time I do it if there was ever a time. So I'm just gonna go through 7 questions. I'll do a little slide for the question and then you'll see me talking. So far I've really enjoyed Booktube and I kind of want to be here for a while, so let's get started. The very first question is, why did you start this channel? So I've been on Bookstagram for a really long time. I've always watched Booktube, but I've never really been involved. And I think for me, I wanted another platform to connect with readers. Booktube is a platform that I've gotten a lot out of personally. I think it's just really fun because I think Booktube creators read differently than Bookstagram creators. And so like, I kind of come to Booktube for like my horror recommendations. I seem to follow more people who are into like horror and thrillers on Booktube, whereas I think Bookstagram is more for me like literary fiction, romance, and then that's also where my book club and I communicate the most. So I just wanted a new place to connect with readers, and I think Booktube is just a really fun platform, and I kind of wanted to join the fun because I had FOMO. The next one is, what are some fun and unique things you can bring to Booktube? So I am a 30-something mom, and I sometimes think in both Bookstagram and Booktube, I'm on the older side of like being a creator, which is funny because I'm only 31. So I kind of want to bring like, I don't know, an elder millennial perspective to Booktube, and also just talk about more literary books and historical romance. This is my romance shelf right here of all my like mass market paperbacks, and I'm a big Lisa Kleypas, Sarah McLean fan. And so I think that will be something else that I talk a lot about because it's something I'm super passionate about. Romance is like my absolute favorite, and I think it gets a bad rap a lot of times. So what are you most excited about for this new channel is the next one. And again, it's connecting with people. Like, there is nothing better to me than talking about books with people. And I think bookish people are honestly the best. And so there's just been so many opportunities in my life where I've connected with people over books, and bookish people are my favorite. So I want to meet new people. I want to talk about books. I want to get inspiration from other people on what to read. And then also I think that Booktube is just fun. So like doing challenges and readathons and all of that is just fun. It's a new outlet for me to talk about and participate in something that I am very passionate about, which is reading. And why do you love reading? So for me, I live in Iowa, which isn't like, it's an amazing place to live and to raise a family. But there's not a lot of exciting things here as far as like nature or big cities. And so reading has always been a way to escape and like travel without having to spend money or go through all the hurdles of travel. And reading is also a way to be more empathetic. I think that you can learn a million things from reading, obviously. And I think reading makes you a better person. It makes you a more empathetic and kind and just all-encompassing better human. So I love reading, and I always have. I've always been an avid reader, and there's just nothing like getting lost in a book. It's also been a savior to my mental health throughout the pandemic and before. We struggled with infertility for a really long time, and through that journey, you know, books were kind of like my safe space, and I could just escape from the hard in my life and read for my own like personal well-being. It really like frankly saved me and helped me stay healthy during a really rough time in my life. What book series got you into reading? So I am an elder millennial, and I think the 2 that really like got me into reading was the Little House books. My mom bought me a box set of those when I was in kindergarten and read those like a million times over. We would even go on Laura Ingalls Wilder themed vacations. And the other one is Harry Potter. It came out when I was a 3rd grader, and obviously J.K. Rowling is very problematic, but I would be lying if I said that wasn't something that like formed me as a reader, because it did come out as I was growing up. So I would say Harry Potter and Laura Ingalls Wilder are the 2 that really just like confirmed my love of reading. So what questions would you ask your favorite booktubers? I think I would ask what videos get you the most traction? Because I am a numbers person and I like to know, like, I like the analytics of YouTube, how you balance it all. Because I work full time, I'm an attorney, and I'm a mom, and I'm married, and I've got 2 dogs. Like, we're all busy, obviously, everybody is. But just how you coordinate your life around Booktube, and if you're not a full-time booktuber, like what you navigate it all, because we're all trying to figure that out, right? So that would probably be my biggest question. I want to know, like, what's your all-time favorite book, but most booktubers have talked about that, so that's not really something I would need to ask. Another good question would be like, who are your favorite booktubers to follow? And if you're watching this, I would love to know who your favorite booktubers are, because I'm always into following more people. What challenges do you think starting a booktube challenge will be the hardest to overcome? And I just touched on that, but it's how do you fit it all in when life is busy? I don't really foresee myself ever quitting my job because I love it. So how do you balance it all? When did you start reading? I started reading early, like kindergarten was when I really started reading chapter books, but my parents have always fostered a love for reading with me. And I think that really, as long as I can remember, like I can't remember a time I wasn't a reader. And I know my mom used to have to come in and tell me like, hey, it's 11 o'clock at night, you need to put your book away and go to bed. And that's still true for me to this day. So I've been a lifelong reader. I think I read a lot in college. I got really into reading challenges on Goodreads in college, and then went to law school and I read like 10 books a year, which is not a lot for me. I read over 100 usually. Each year of law school, like because I was reading so much, I couldn't fathom reading for fun, and it was just hard to. I would only read on breaks, which I felt like a sense of my identity was gone because of that. Once I got out of law school, I just went wild, like could not stop reading. I think I took a break after the bar exam and as I was practicing privately, but then from here on out, I've just been voracious. I've been back into how I feel as a reader, and it's been great. Where do you read? This chair, for one. I read in my bed, and then I read on my porch a lot too. We have like living areas too, but with my husband watching TV, I don't usually read out there. Primarily I'm reading in this chair or outside on my back patio. You've seen me reading on my patio in the Modern Mrs. Darcy video that I did from the Reader's Weekend. So what kind of books do you like to read? I am a very wide reader. So I read across all genres. I will give anything a try. I lean heavy into romance. Historical romance is probably one of my favorites. I love fantasy, but the last time I've like really loved fantasy was getting sucked into Sarah J. Maas, which I had ignored all the hype for the longest time, and now I'm really mad at myself. I love fantasy that has like a romance component to it. And then, I do really love literary fiction. Some of my favorite books are Wallace Stegner's Crossing to Safety. I love Wendell Berry. Once Upon a Wardrobe by Patty Callahan has been a recent favorite. Pride and Prejudice is obviously up there. I don't read a ton of middle grade, which middle grade and YA are just kind of genres I tend to avoid. It has to be a really good gem for me to want to read it. The Remarkable Journey of Coyote Sunrise was one of my favorite middle grade books that we read as a book club. I really just read anything. Like, I'm not going to say no to any book. I will give any book a fair shot. Oh, another author that I adore is Louise Penny, and she's up here. But I love mysteries. I will try anything. So that's a really hard question. What does your book collection look like? I will do a book tour, but you can kind of see, maybe I can turn this. Yeah, so like here's one of my bookshelves, and then I have a big bookshelf downstairs. This is kind of classics, and then like the books that I'm, library books and stuff, my romance shelf, series, some of my series, and then up there's like miscellaneous stuff, and then I have a printer and something down below. But my main book collection is downstairs, and I will do a little vlog of that. Okay, so here is my bookshelf tour. We got a really cool built-in built this year, and we still need to do some finishing touches. I'm not super happy with how the doors turned out, but working on that and fixing it. So my bookshelf is scheduled. My bookshelf is organized by color, sort of. It's not the greatest, but I really do read quite broadly, and it's a mixture of books I've read and not read. So there's that. I actually love, see the mess of my house on the other side. I actually love this. This plant is my favorite. It needs watered. My husband's a soccer coach, so you can kind of see stuff like that. But I'm loving the red and black shelf. I need to reorganize. And then there's a secret TBR on the shelf that's like right down here that I'm not gonna show you guys. So that is my downstairs bookshelf. That is my Booktube Newbie Tag. If you have anything you would like to ask me, drop them in the comment. If there's something I said in this video that spurred something in you, please comment. And if you've made it to the end of this video, leave the book stack emoji down to let me know you made it this far. So thank you, and until next video, guys.